Wilson UK here, and welcome back to the Golf Club and another real course review. Now today we're going to be looking at Le Golf National and the Albatross course, which is the course where the 2018 Ryder Cup is going to be held, where Europe will attempt to try and win back the Ryder Cup from the USA. Now, just to give you a little bit of information from Wikipedia, because the website doesn't have an awful lot of information, although there is some historic stuff there, but it's not a very old course. So the details are: the Albatross course, or L'Albatros course at Le Golf National, is an 18-hole golf course designed by the architects Hubert, Chesneau and Robert van Hagge in collaboration with Pierre Thevenin. Now, please excuse any pronunciations of names, because I have no idea what nationality they are, and my pronunciation in that particular accent or language is going to be something to be desired. It took 3 years to build, from July 1987 to October 1990, so as you can see it's a fairly young course. It was opened on the 5th of October 1990 by Roger Bambuck, Minister of Youth and Sports. Le Golf National was the venue for the 1991 Open de France, the oldest national open in continental Europe, and has been held there every year since, except on 2 occasions. It has been selected to host the Ryder Cup in 2018, and the course has the capacity for 80,000 fans. The Albatross is the main championship course with a par of 72 and measuring 7,315 yards. There is 2 other courses, the Aigle and the Birdie, but obviously we're going to be looking at L'Albatros in this video. So let's jump straight in. Let's have a quick look at the course stats. 18 holes, 7157 on the screen. Medium fast greens. I think the fairways were medium. Let's have a quick look. Medium difficulty. 71 par, 4 par 4s. 4 par 3s, 11 par 4s, and 3 par 5s. Let's jump straight into this round. I'm really excited about this one, so I want to see what what this course has to offer. Now, there were a number of different iterations of this course, but they were all by the same designer, creator, so I chose the one, as I always do, the one with the most plays. So this one's had 2,800 plays. Let's have a quick look at this from the top. So, great start to the hole here. Got some beautiful sculpting here with the cart path. We've got the golf buggy there. We've got some advertising boards. Let's move down this fairway. This is a fairly short par 4, 415 yards, skirting the lake on the left hand side there, and we have this huge lake and this river that goes. In fact, there's quite a few lakes here if you have a look around the course. There's a few lakes on the course. Now, the waypoints here is given as a 3-wood, so I need to make sure I select the correct club. I want to make sure I get this in the fairway. Now, this is difficult for a start, because you don't want to be running out of fairway here. I think I'm going to aim for the rough and hope for a good bounce. Now, as I always do when I play these real course reviews, this isn't about the score. It's always nice to get a good score when you're playing this game, but this is about seeing what the course itself is like. Looks like we got some nice markings around the water here to depict that we've got a hazard there. We've got these big bunkers on the right hand side flanking the green on the right, and it looks like, yeah, we got some walling here. I'd be interested to see whether it is actually like that on hole number 1, whether it's very square like that, but the green looks big and it's all flowing from the right hand side, so we know this is going to be running down towards the hole from the right. Let's see if it's uphill. It's not moving an awful lot, but it's definitely coming back in from the right. We've got about 143 here with the roll. Ball's fairly flat there. Let's see if this lands short. Is it going to roll an awful lot? I think I've over allowed a little here. It did roll a little. I probably could have added another couple of yards onto that. Now we've got now these greens are medium speed, medium fast. It's 161 feet. Um, it's moving a lot, but it's fairly flat. So let's just roll this up to the hole, see what happens. It goes in, that'd be great. Medium fast, how fast is it going to run? That was, oh, that kept on rolling. It was downhill, I know, but I didn't expect that to get to the hole. So that's a birdie on the first hole, that's pretty good. And we've got a par 3 here. This is the second hole here. Now it's always tough. Got a nice cart path going along here. Always tough playing over water, especially when you're playing into the side of a green. We're not playing lengthways. The good thing is we've got a fairly big landing area here. It's flanked by these 2 big bunkers. Pin's not in a position where they're going to be, maybe that one's going to be in play. I've got the wind behind, so I need to take that into consideration. We've got about 192 with the roll, and we've got the wind behind. So this is all about hitting the green. Now if it rolls out the back, I'm not too fussed. This is about hitting the green. Wind's just dropped now. That looks good. Ooh, almost hit the flag. That's probably, yeah, it's just going to roll out. I expected it to. I should have landed a lot shorter than that. But with that water there, it really does put the give you the willies when you're actually aiming at the flag. So I'm pleased where I am. It looks like there's quite a lot of change in elevation on this course. This is going to be a tough putt, actually. 8 feet. Okay, that's in for a par. Yeah, you can see that we've got some hills in the background there. The first 2 holes have gone around the outside of the lake. Let's see where this par 5 goes. Let's have a look at it from above. Let's just zoom out here. Let's see where it is in relation to that par 3. So where was the par 3? Ah, the par 3's there on the other side. There we can see it. And you cross the bridge and you come up to the tee. Now this par 5, we've got a split fairway here, so we're going to be driving down here, 538 yards. If the wind's in our favour, it is going to be drivable. We've got a huge drop off here on the left hand side of the green, big bunker here, and a massive bunker here with a tree in the middle. So that's going to be guarding this. This is going to be a difficult hole to reach into, and I would imagine that's exactly why they've done this. Just to try and prevent people from going for the green in 2. It is going to be risk-reward. We do have a beautiful day that we're playing on today. Not too much wind, 5 miles an hour. Now, it is quite open, and I don't know whether it's been designed that way or it's whether the fact that there's not a lot of vegetation that's grown as yet, because it is a fairly new course. But it's quite nice. There's the odd tree here and there that does come into play. I'll be interested to see what this is actually like on the course overview, because that looks very, very structured. Now if it's like that and this green is raised all the way around, then yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near the edge of the green. Now this is going to be tough, because I want to try and roll this up to the green, and I want to try and hit this bank and get it to roll down to the flag. But I think this club is going to be a bit big. I'm going to try and add some loft to it. I don't think it's going to get there. Well, if it does get there, it's going to roll through. Let's have a look. Alright. Not quite got there, and I did hit that pretty well. I've got a flop shot here. It's almost at full distance. Not quite. That might be a bit strong. I need that to come back, which it is going to do. That's going to leave me about 6 or 7 feet. 6 feet. Left edge. That should be a birdie. Yeah. opening 3 holes, I really like the course. It's very, very playable, has its own challenges. It'd be good to try and reach that green in 2 if you had the wind behind. And now we're going to jump onto a really long par 4, 460 yards. Nice decoration around this water here. We've got the fence and the hazard markers. Massive bunker down this left hand side. I would imagine the landing zone is going to be around here. If you're anywhere wayward on the left, you're going to end up in bother. And then we've got another hole here which looks like is going to be the next hole, which is going to be running parallel and back in the opposite direction. Moving up on this par 4, let's turn this around. Let's move this, whoops, wrong way. Got a false front on this green. Once again, very, very structured, very plateaued, these greens. So you need to make sure you hit the greens and you get on the greens in regulation. Very narrow landing area here. I want to make sure I get this drive nice and straight, which I have done. It's not going to run out. We want to make sure this is around 280 yards. Yep, pretty much bang on, and that's going to leave 174 to the flag. And the flag is tucked in a really, really tough position because you have this bank in the front of the green. If you hit anywhere near this, you're going to be swallowed up by this bunker. I think the safe option is to leave yourself an uphill putt and aim for this area here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Got 171 and from 175, it's into the wind. I'm going to see if I can just get this ball onto the green. That's the name of the game, 97%, so didn't hit it very well, but it looks like it's still going to end up on the green. It's going to roll forward a bit. I could have been doing with being another sort of 15 feet forward, and that is literally because I didn't hit it very well. Now, these greens aren't very fast, they're medium fast. This is uphill. It's moving from left to right, 38 feet, it's a long putt. Just want to try and get this close to the hole, which it looks like it's going to be. That wasn't a bad attempt from that distance. The distance was bang on. Not quite right on the accuracy, but that's okay. And now we move on to hole number 5, 417 yards. Not a great distance on this hole. Let's see if it is the hole that was parallel. Yeah, it definitely is. So that big bunker comes into play again here. It's only 417 yards, 407 on the course. It'd be interesting to see whether we can split these trees and end up over here on the drive. That will be the interesting thing. Let's see where this driver takes us. There's the 2 trees. Can we get through? Ooh, and that is exactly why they put them there, just to try and eliminate that shot. This is such a difficult shot. I've got 7 mile an hour here. Can't go anywhere over here. Is it going to carry, and is it... Man, oh man, can I get between those 2 trees? I've got 7 mile an hour. Am I going to be able to do it? Now, the pros would definitely be trying that when we come to the Ryder Cup. But I ain't a pro, and they sent the Ryder Cup. Right, so let's get this ball in the fairway. That's going to be the main thing. I want to try and cut the corner a little, just so I've got a view of the flag for my second shot. I want to make sure I get about 250 yards. That's almost bang on. That's going to leave me 180 to the flag. This is a tough hole. This really is a tough hole. It says stroke index 6, but I think, depending on the wind, this plays an awful lot harder than that. Alright, green's rolling down to the left, so we need to aim here. We've got the wind behind. I'm going to play this 170 and try and roll this up to the flag. Got 100% that time. Wind's just dropped off. Should roll up towards the flag. It is downhill and it's rolling off to the left. That was pretty well judged. I'm pleased with that. That's going to give me about a 7-8 footer for birdie. Once again, left edge. The greens are really nice on this course. They're really nice. There's undulations, there's slopes, but the pin position is important, and they're not on the side of these stupidly steep slopes. So really good, really well designed this course. We've got this tree in the way here. So this is for those guys that, especially the guys on the tour that can, on the real tour, that can draw a ball. They're either going to be drawing the ball or they're going to be fading it around the other side of the tree. I'm going to try and draw this round this tree ever so slightly, not an awful lot. I'm going to use the wind as well, not an awful lot of wind. That's going to be smack bang in the middle of the fairway. Only 95%, but it's a short hole, so that's going to leave me about 110, 115, 117 to the flag. Wind slightly behind. I want to try and get this right on this flag. Got that 100%. Looks like I've hit it straight. Yep. I need this to stop now, and it has done. That's going to leave me about 5 feet. So this is not a difficult hole. I could have been closer off the tee. Is that going to turn enough? It is. Yeah, that's not a difficult hole, and I can see why it's stroke index 14. I would imagine the pros. I mean, the pros are going to be really close to the to reaching the green. Some of them, you know, the guys that are driving 350 odd yards. That's going to leave a, you know, with the wind behind and the roll, some of them may actually drive that in one. But on to hole number 8. Let's have a look at this from above. Another really interesting hole. I don't know much about this course, but this is really interesting because I would imagine it. This is going to be somewhere around about 3 iron distance, 5 wood maybe. Wind behind. Could you actually drive to this area of the green? The green is protected by these 4 really circular, almost, I mean, I would call, they're not pot bunkers because they're not deep enough, but they will swallow you up if you are slightly wayward with your approach shot. A nice big green again, allows for a lot of different pin positions, and also a lot of variation playing in as well. If you're wayward, it's going to fall off the left here. If you play in here to the right, it is going to funnel down towards the flag. So another great hole. See, so a driver is going to roll out of the fairway. I would hazard a guess that even a 3 wood is going to roll out of fairway. I'm going to play safe with the 5 wood. See if we can get that 225, which is still going to leave us 210 odd to the green. So this plays long if you're unable to reach that second bit of grass, and I don't even think with the wind behind you'd actually reach that. So yeah, we've still got almost 200. It's 188 less 4, 184 yards. I'm going to play this 181. The wind's going to blow it back to the right, and then I want to take a smidge off that because it's going to roll up to the flag, hopefully. Get 100%. Excuse me. I want to be right of the flag here. I am. Should now feed down to the left. I think I missed the slope, so it's gone straight past the flag. That's going to leave me about a 20-foot putt for birdie. 14, slightly downhill. There's the slope on the left that I wanted to hit, but I missed it. Let's roll this up. Over allowed a little. Should be able to tap that in for my par. And we move on to hole number 8. Hole number 8, almost 200 yards this par 3. Right next to the green of the previous hole. You can see the green of the previous hole is just there on the left hand side. It's a fairly long par 3, almost 200 yards. Let's move forward. It is downhill. We're playing over a bunker, so anywhere short you're going to be in bother. And there's quite a steep slope. Let's move right in here. Have a look at that. That's quite a steep slope there. So anywhere here, hit this bank and it's going to roll back. You really want to be aiming around about here. You've got a slight slope here on the other side. You don't want to be going up there. This is going to be a tough hole. So we've got 189 less 6 is 183. Got 181 with this club. This is a little bit of a quandary here because I need to make sure I get it on the green. Let's see what happens here. Got it 100%. Wind picked up ever so slightly as I hit it. I've made it onto the green. I need it to check, which it has done, and it's not going to roll up that slope. So that is a really, really nice shot, that is. I don't think I could have played that an awful lot better if I tried. 8 feet, 2 inches downhill. I hit it right. Look at that. Not right as in correct. I hit it right. Tap that in for par. That could have been a birdie. That was disappointing. And we reached the final hole on this opening 9. Hole number 9 is stroke index 16, 560 yards. So it's going to take 2 really big shots to get there. And it's 577, so we aren't getting there in 2. There's no chance, not unless I can play over 300 off the tee, and the wind is not going to allow me to do that. We've got a lovely bunker complex here in the fairway and surrounding the green, and an absolutely humongous green. Look at the size of this green. But it's well presented, it's well manicured, and so far, I mean, I'll give you my thoughts at the end of the 9. But so far, so good. I am really liking this course. Alright, this ball is going to roll down to the left because of the contours of the fairway. Maybe not as much as I thought. 287, we're not going to get there in 2. 293, so not a chance, even though the green is incredibly long. You know what? We may reach the front of the green, and I say may. In fact, we may end up in the bunker. No. Is it on? It's not quite on the green. So, because the green's so big, it's still 52 yards to the flag. So, I'm right on the edge of the green, and the flag's 52 yards away. So, have a look at this from above. I mean, the flag is right in the back of the green, but this green is probably 56, 57, probably 60 yards, 70 yards long. I mean, I'm not at the very far end, but from one end to the other, it's probably 70 yards. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Right, let's take some off of this. Got a little bit of wind here. It's not going to make too much of a difference. I need that to bite. Oh, I hit that a little hard. I took some off of that as well, and it still went a long, long way. We've got 10 feet here. The last one didn't move an awful lot. Oh, look at that. That's 3 inches. So that's a par on the 9th hole. It's stroke index 16. I really should have capitalised. My opening impressions of the first 9. Really, really nice course. Really well laid out. A thinking man's course, and I really like it. You have to, you know, it's not just get on the tee box and hit. You have to plan your shots. You have to plan your round, and I really like that. Visibly, the course is very well manicured. There's just the right amount of decoration on the course, so the guy that's designed and built this course has really taken the time to put things in where necessary and not over decorate it. So let's jump into the back 9. Let's see what we got here. We start off with a par 4. It's fairly short, 386 yards, but it's flanked by yet another lake. I'm not entirely sure what hole. That's the hole we've just finished. So we're going back down the other side of the lake, much like we did on the front 9. Fairly straight here, 386 yards. So I would imagine we're playing into this sort of area here off the tee box where it's really narrow. But then look at this. front on this green anywhere on this bank here, and this ball's going to be in bother. You're not going to be getting on the green. So we've got a slight ridge at the back here, so you could roll this ball around. Let's move this around. If you're coming in from this angle, you could roll it into the flag like that. But let's see where we get off the tee, and then we'll plan that second shot in a second. Got the wind blowing in from the right here. Don't want to over allow too much here. Is it blowing back in? Is it blowing back in enough to get me in the fairway? Hopefully. Just! Then we got a beautiful kick off the grass there. So that's going to give me about, 138, but with the elevation change it's going to be 142. I am going to club up here, take a bit off of this. Where is the flag in relation to the green? It's right in the back. We know we can go right to the flag. We don't want to go too much right because that wind has dropped all the way down. Have we hit it 100%? We have. Have we hit it straight? We have. This should be pretty good. Is it going to stop in time? It is, and that is pretty damn good. And another cracking hole. Real risk reward. I would imagine we're going to see lots and lots of excuse me, lots and lots of birdies on this hole when we get to the Ryder Cup. Alright, what a beautiful looking hole. Absolutely stunning hole. 190 yards to the flag. It's just water all the way here. I mean, you want to be carrying the water. It shouldn't really come into play because we've got you've got a massive section of, you could call it fairway, but it's not really on a par 3. You want to be playing this in from this side, preferably. If you're that wide, it is going to roll back in. You shouldn't get too much roll here because we are going to take a fairly lofted club. It is only 190 yards after all. I may... 190. Yeah, let's take a lot off this. We've got the wind behind. We need to make sure we get there for a start. Yeah, that's still too big. Wow, that wind was stronger than I thought. That's even going to roll off the green. 202 yards, and I took a lot off of that. So that's an error on my part. It's stroke index 15, and I mean, to be fair, the hole doesn't play that hard. So I think the stroke index is spot on. Yep, that stopped up nicely. It's going to be about 3 feet. It is 3 feet. Let's tap this in for par. It's not a difficult hole, I just didn't play it exceptionally well. On to hole number 12, stroke index 11. Let's have a look at it from above. Flanked by another huge bunker here. Dog leg right. How much of this corner are we going to be able to take on? I would imagine we're going to be somewhere here. Let's have a look at it going up to the green. Let's zoom out. Whoops. There we go. Zoom out. And we've got a lot of green to play with when we're playing into this flag. It does sit up a rise, so ideally we want to get right back in this corner, or it's going to leave us an uphill putt if we're short, but ideally we want to be right back in that corner. Didn't go as much as I thought it was going to go. But let's see if we can get this right in the heart of the fairway. Another good drive. Okay. Shouldn't have too much of an issue playing into this green. But here we go. This is the slope we want to try and get up. So we want to be landing it around about here. Stiff it into this bank, and then it should just dribble down to the hole here. Excuse me. 168 plus 5, 172. Let's add a little on this. Wind's going to blow it back in from the left. Got it 100%. Need the wind to start doing a little bit of work here. That looks good. Stiff it into the bank. Didn't get as much roll as I'd like, but it looks like, yeah, it's slightly uphill, so we didn't quite get it. Another yard or so, that probably would have been even better. But that should... Oh no, I've left it short again. That's 7 inches this time. So 3 inches on the first 9, 7 inches here. That's just me leaving it a little short. I'm used to playing on fast greens. We jump onto hole number 13. We have stroke index 5. It's a 430 yard par 4. See, those are the kind of little touches that are nice. You see those steps there on the tee box? Let's zoom out, I'll show you that. The steps off the tee boxes, just the little things like that, you know, where you have raised tee boxes. We've got a dog leg right here. This is beautiful, this hole. Look at this, it's sandwiched in between all these lakes. Don't want to be down here because you don't want to be playing a blind shot into the green, even though it's going to be fairly lofted, the club. You want to be playing over to this area here, but it is going to be a difficult hole. Let's have a look at what the club gives us. The club's going to bring us to about there, I think. Could we take a driver here? Are we going to be brave enough to take a driver here? Are we going to run out of fairway? Let's see where this 3-wood's taking us again. I think that's bang on, actually. Get it 100%. Yep, the wind's blowing it back in ever so slightly. That should be bang on in the middle of the fairway, and it's going to give me a beautiful angle on that flag. Once again, another thinking man's hole. This is 5, stroke index 5. Really nice design here. Look at this. Beautiful edging around this hole, around the lake. And a fairly small green in comparison to some of the others, and we are playing into the side of the green here, so need to make sure we haven't got very much room to play with here. It is a fairly lofted club. It's given us a 5-iron. It's into the wind. 175 with the roll, call it 174 into the wind. So I'm going to play this club. I'm going to take a little off of it. We've got a little bit of wind. I don't think it's going to have too much of an effect. No. Is it going to roll up? It is going to roll up. It's going to leave me about 12 feet. 13 feet. Ooh, but it's in a horrible position. Got a fair bit of movement here. 13 feet. Downhill. Oh, just missed the left edge. Stroke index 5. Is that probably the right one? It's not an incredibly difficult hole. I've just made it more difficult for myself. Yeah, that's probably a bit generous, stroke index 5, but that's obviously how it's been playing, and that's the handicap that it's been given according to how people have played it on the golf club. Moving on to hole number 14, we're heading into the home stretch here, guys. It's a par 5, it's 545 yards. Slight change in elevation, we're going uphill towards the hole. With the wind behind us, probably reachable in 2. Wind's into our face, it's not going to be reachable in 2. Let's move up. So we're going to be heading into this sort of area. I don't think I'm going to be getting there in 2, to be honest. It's going to be a difficult shot because you're going to be playing across this fairway. It is going to be really, really difficult. Really strange shaped bunker here on the next to the green on the 14th hole. But that is going to come into play when you're heading into the green, especially if you're going to attempt to go for the green in 2. Let's see how far we get down and let's see what it leaves us in distance. But I think we're not going to have enough to get there in 2, especially when you hit 99%. It is into the wind, albeit ever so slightly. It's only 276 yards. Still got 3. Yeah, we're not going to get there. We're not going to get there. It's given us a 3-wood and it's aiming us at the hole, but we're not going to get there. In fact, that would be a good position to be in. Then we're not playing over that bunker when we're heading up towards the flag. Is that going to reach the fairway? I need a good bounce here. No, it's in the rough. That was bad. Alright, got 63 yards, but it's in the rough. that came off left. I need that to check up. It won't check up as fast playing from the rough, but that's okay. 64 yards. It's left me a downhill putt, left to right, 6 feet. Let's see if I can tap this in for a birdie. It is a birdie. We haven't had a birdie in a while. I think we had a birdie on hole number 10. Yeah, hole number 10. 3 pars and then another birdie. Now that's a nice hole, that is. I like that one. Hole number 15, a very short par 4. Playing 356 yards, so this is really short. Beautiful looking hole though. Not an island green. Is it an island green? Let's have a look. There's a car in there. It's a competition. It is an island green, but there's 2 greens on the same island. So we got this sort of little island that sits in the middle of the lake, and the island shares 2 greens. So this is pretty cool actually. I really like this hole. How much are we going to take on here? We're going to get down in this skinny section. I need to make sure I land in this skinny section. This is going to be interesting to see where the pros play, because I would imagine they're going to be driving that second section of green that's further down there. %, that's going lovely and straight. That should be okay. 280 yards. That's going to leave me just over 100 yards to the flag. Yeah, 107. Call it 105 with the change in elevation. I'm going right at the flag with this one. I'm not even having a look at what's around the flag, because that's going to land right next to it. 3 feet, tap in for a birdie. That is stroke index 1, but playing at 350 yards, it is not stroke index 1, and with very little wind. I would imagine with wind and that narrow landing area, that hole can prove to be very difficult. So 3 holes to finish. Looks like we've got stroke index 13 here. Hole number 16, a relatively short par 3. But we've got dangers all around the screen. We've got 3 bunkers that are in really dangerous areas. Plus we've got the water all the way down the right hand side of the screen. So albeit that it's only 170 yards, it's playing tough for 170 yards. So I need to be very careful here. I need to get the distance right, and I need to get the trajectory right, because otherwise I could be in bother. That looks good. It's going to hit the green. Is it going to slow up? Just rolls past the flag. It's going to leave me about 12-13 feet for a birdie. 10 feet, a fair amount of movement though. But we managed to get another birdie there. Stroke index 13, I would hazard a guess that that's pretty much right. 3 birdies on the bounce now, so going along nicely. 483, we're finishing off with 2 relatively long par 4s. This one's 483 on the scorecard, playing 475. Really skinny fairway. I wonder where the landing area is going to be. Hopefully it's going to be in this wide area here before we turn around and start to head down towards the green. Whoopsie. And then we got this long, narrow fairway and a relatively small green again, but not guarded by any bunkers. So it must be playing really difficult because it is stroke index 3. Let's make sure we get this in the fairway. Looks like I have. That's going to be about 280 yards. 285. Still 200 yards, and this is where the problem comes in. Is that it's not a big green, so you don't need a hazard to make a hole difficult. So for anybody that's out there that's thinking of making a course, this is a good hole to take some direction from. You do not need a hazard to make a hole difficult. So we got 197 with the elevation 198. I'm going to take a little off of this because I've been playing long today. I need the wind to bring that in ever so slightly. It's going to come up short. Is it going to slow up in time? That's okay. It's still going to leave me a fairly long putt, maybe 15 feet, 11 feet. But once again, a nice slope, not stupidly. I don't think I've hit that. Have I hit it? Another one now that I've left inches. 3 inches again. So that's 2 at 3 inches, 1 at 7 inches. Miscalculated. That could have been another 3 birdies, but nevertheless, another really good hole. Alright, let's have a look at this final hole. This is the one that you see on all the pictures here. This is the one that is almost like the signature hole for the golf course. It is a long par 4, flanked by bunkers on the right hand side, halfway down the fairway, and all the way down the fairway we have this lake on the left hand side, and then you're playing into this green where we're going to have huge grandstands, I would imagine, all the way down these banks when we get to the Ryder Cup. But a beautiful looking green here. We've got one bunker, but there's just water everywhere here, so it is a massive green, so it's going to be a big landing area. I am excited to play this hole. We've got no wind at all, so let's see if we can take on a little of this corner here. See if I get a good bounce, good run. Got 100%. Oh, got a slight fade on it, but it looks like I'm going to carry that corner. Yes. Yes. 286, 87, almost 290 yards means I'm going to be playing about 200 yards into this green, and this is where the problem is. The good thing is that the pin location is right in the back of the green, so I've got a huge amount of green to play with. I've got this slope here, so I need to make sure I get it over this, and then it looks like it's downhill to the flag, moving from left to right ever so slightly. So this is a difficult hole here. I need to judge this correctly. So I've got 205, 202. I've got the wind behind. I'm going to play this club. I'm going to play 195. In fact, I'm even going to take a bit off of it. I need to make sure I get it onto the green. Hopefully I get some good roll. Hit it 100%. Looking good so far. I'm up the bank. Could have been doing with being right of the flag, so it slid down towards the hole, but that's pretty good from where I was. That's going to leave me about 12 feet. 9 feet, even better. Let's see if I can finish off here with a birdie and not leave this shy like I have been doing. And I've hit that one too hard. So I've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous, but we're going to finish off with the par here. That's a beautiful closing hole. It really is. So that's a gross score of 63, 8 under 63, a net score of 6 under 65. I'm pleased with that round. Not a drop shot in sight. It's taken my handicap to 7.3. Let's advance. Let's get to the interesting page. This is where we score. I'm going to say that this is probably the most technical course that I've played so far. It's really well built, it's really well thought out. You almost feel like even though you're playing a video game and you're playing a simulation game, you feel like you're playing a real course where you have to plan your round, and that's the thing that's really interesting to me. And I'm going to give this course a solid 9.2. A 9.2 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this course. It's not the best score I've given so far, but it's right up there. I am so looking forward to the Ryder Cup next year, because it will be incredible to see the pros from Europe and the USA playing on this course. I am so looking forward to it. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and it is appreciated. Feel free to leave any comments in the box below, along with any suggestions you might have for any more real courses that you'd like me to review that you know of that are in the golf club game. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you'd like to see more videos like this and others from my channel, feel free to hit the subscription button. And if you want to get notified of when the videos get posted online, remember to hit that little bell icon next to the subscription button. But until next time, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to review this course. I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye bye now.